Hi guys, it's Gal here, and today we're going to be chugging along with the 30-day Magical Girl Challenge by Sekaiichi Happy. As I'm sure you've noticed, we are working on a new canvas now. It is a B4 size with 300 dpi, or dots per inch. This level of quality is required for your art to still look crisp and good when you resize it. So make sure you are always working on a 300 dpi minimum canvas. As I'm sure you saw at the beginning, we're going to be working on the prompt red. And I didn't initially have an idea of what I wanted, but I settled on dragon fruit, which is a reddish pink fruit with these green dangly bits on it. And well, dragons are red, so hell, why not? I'm going back to my Monster Girl roots a little bit here with this challenge, and I love Monster Girls. Oh, also to mention, I'm speeding up the footage a little bit so that these episodes don't run too long, especially not 40 minutes plus. I'm also going to start lining and flatting these so that they're a bit more crisp and nicer looking and just higher quality in general. I'd also like to add them to my portfolio, so obviously I'm going to need some finished product. As for the type of dragon I ended up going with, it is a Korean dragon, which is very different from the Western idea of a dragon. They're very long and wavy, not they're more snake-like than lizard-like, and I really wanted to draw that tail. I wanted to add that tail so bad, so I really wanted to go for the Korean dragon. As for her uniform, I had no idea what I was doing. I just sketched out a quick idea of the silhouette I wanted and decided to, hey, I'll figure that out later. Later comes and I do a little bit more research off screen and I come across the hanbok, which is a traditional robe that Korean women wear or have worn. I'm pretty sure they're still worn today. And I even looked up some modern takes on the hanbok, and they were beautiful. There was just these everyday dresses you could wear out and about, and they really got the creative juices flowing. I modified the skirt of the robe to look like the dangly green bits on the dragon fruit itself, and then the underrobe I will later color and render as the flesh of the fruit itself. I also did this with the sleeves, the end of the sleeves, and her leggings. While cleaning up the rough sketch, I fixed some issues with the anatomy and placement of things, so that when I went to line everything, I wouldn't have to guess where I wanted my lines to be. There are a lot of artists who just do a rough, messy sketch and then go straight to inks, but that is not me, man. I have to have a somewhat clean base to work off of. It doesn't have to be like super clean, but I have to, the lines have to be, you know, well defined and not vague, or it's just not happening. Now to address the elephant in the room, the hands. They're very much not good. They're not great. They're not my best hands I've ever drawn. They're bad. I didn't want to put too much time into them though. I just really wanted to get to the lining, the coloring, and finishing this piece. So I kind of just I don't know. I just drew what I could and then left it as is. Now for the coloring. Once again, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just color picking off the fruit, the real life fruit itself, and trying to base it off of that. But some of the colors were so intense and hurtful on the eye and just didn't mesh well together, so I had to really finagle with it. In the end, I picked some colors that looked really good together, were amazing. I loved them, and those were the final colors. But this goes through quite a few different changes. At some point I am going to desaturate the image, and this is to check the values of all the colors to see if, for example, if someone was colorblind, would they be able to see, you know, that this person's hair and skin weren't connected, like that they were distinct and separate. And they really weren't. So I darkened up the skin and eventually lightened the hair. I opted not to go with this strawberry blonde / pink color. I opted going with the same color as the flesh of the fruit that I used for the tights and the under robe and her sleeves. At some point I tried to, you know, color the top robe of the skirt green with a green gradient, and I hated it. I kept messing with it with layer styles, all kinds of stuff. It just did not look good. I ended up not going with it, even though I did leave it alone for a bit. No, I just decided not to. Now for the lines. What I use to ink is a modified G-pen brush that I call the Crisp Inker, and I will be it's up on the Clip Studio Paint Materials resource website, so I will be putting a link to my Crisp Inker in the description. This inking process went by pretty quickly than usual. I am so slow when it comes to inking because inking is my least favorite part of the process, even though I have a pretty distinct style when it comes to inks. I like thick lines, thick line art. In this case, I wasn't going too thick. That's usually more in my illustrative work, but I had such a hard time with that eyebrow. The inks are kind of sloppy too. I was rushing it. Wow, here's all the bad things about my art. That's appealing. But otherwise, oh yes, I used the stabilize option on the tool, and I have it up at 100% to get that very smooth look. And I used the shake tool to get that orb between her horns right, because I was not drawing a circle by hand. Screw that. Fork that. Otherwise, the inking went pretty smoothly. As for the flats, I just filled everything in with the colors I chose during the color picking process, and I was done. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like the video. subscribe, comment, ring the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.